to create really bushy, fluffy, flowy curls using our For Curls and For Coils collection combined. So I have a model here who I'm going to do a sew-in on her for today and show you all how I do it, just so you can kind of see what goes into it, and I'm going to show you all how to style it as well. So stay tuned. So before you do your sewing, you want to make sure that you're doing it on very clean, thoroughly conditioned hair. It's also extremely important to moisturize your hair prior to. I'm just going to apply a little bit of moisturizing cream. I'm going to do a little coconut oil just to seal and lock in the moisture. There's no point in getting a weave done if you don't take care of your hair underneath the weave. So you want to make sure that you're doing everything you need to do to care for your hair underneath the weave first. That's most important. So now that we've done our moisturizing, what I'm going to do is just section off her hair and section off where I'm going to do her leave out. So she wants a right parted weave. So I'm going to give her a nice little part on the right. I'm going to try to do a C part or a curved L part, either way. And then I'm just going to take about 1 centimeter of hair surrounding the part and use that as my leave out. Because sometimes with these weaves, either straight weaves or natural hair weaves, depending on how much hair you leave out, it can really affect the way the overall style looks and how much maintenance you have to do. So she wants more of a protective style, so I'm not going to leave out much of her hair at all. I'm just going to leave out a little bit just to cover the tracks. You just want to double check to make sure, see if it's enough hair to cover over the tracks. I think it will. This is literally all we're going to leave out today for her style. I'm also going to leave out all of her edges. It's extremely important that whoever's doing your weave is okay with leaving out your edges, because you want to make sure that they are not tightly braided and that you're able to care for them while you have the weave. And also, she wants to be able to wear her hair up in a high ponytail, so I'm going to leave out her edges all around her head so that the back of her hair can cover the weave and to give her the most natural look as possible. So as you can see, I've parted her hair, and like I said, I'm leaving out all her edges so that once the weave is stitched down to here, she'll be able to lift her hair up and wear it high in a ponytail and not see any tracks, and it'll look as natural as possible. In terms of braid pattern, it's really up to your stylist, but you want to braid it in a way where you have a guard braid that's not pulling your hairline back, so not like a straight back braid, but something horizontal. Today, I'm just going to do the 2 circles in her hair because that gives really good versatility with wearing updos, because there's no ends of the braids that are really left over. So I'm just going to part her hair for that. The braid relatively small, but not so small that it's pulling her hair too much. So I'm just feeding in a little bit of braiding hair so that it makes the braid stronger and sturdier and have less wear and tear in your hair, and to make the weave last a little longer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue this braid in this circle, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, and then I'm going to sew down a stretchable mesh net on her hair. It's good to use one that's stretchable just so that it's easier for your hair to breathe, but it'll also be really good so that it is more protective and you're able to do more with the mesh net. Now I'm done stitching in the hair. I actually ended up not using a full 3 bundles of hair. I couldn't get it all in her head. So what I used was 1.5 bundles of the 22-inch for coils and a full bundle of the 22-inch for curls. And that's the for curls in the front, and you can see the for coils, like the looser textures in the back. The reason why I put the for coils in the back is just it's easier to blow dry it when you want to go through and curl on it. And it'll be really, really good to get some of the fullness and kinkiness of the for curls in the front, but not have so much of that in the back. So, but you can do it with either. You can do it all for curls, all for coils, both, either way. So I'm gonna go ahead and wet this through and blow dry it, and then I'll go and demonstrate the curls on the hair for you. So I just finished blowing out her hair, and as you can see, it is massive, but massive in a good way. What I used to blow dry it, just so you all know, I used a little bit of this Garnier Fructis Sleek and Shine Flat Iron Perfector. There we go, straightening mist, yes. I used this I blew it through her hair, and then as it was wet, I kind of used my Denman D41 and stretched it. And like I said, the front is for curls and the back is for coils. Now that it's blown out, it kind of all looks the same. The for curls does get a little fuller, so it is thicker in the front. But that'll be really good for when we do the Curlwands. One good point I wanted to make before I show you how to do the Curlwand is that for her leave out, I actually did bantu knots, little tiny bantu knots on it, so that when I take it out, it kind of has that same curl that the Curlwands have, just so I don't have to put heat on her real hair. So, you know, with heat-free hair, ultimately, it's all about keeping heat off of your natural hair. And even if we're going to put heat on the weave, you want to make sure that you're still going heat-free and not using heat on your real hair just to get it to blend with the curl-wanded look. So bantu knots are great. You can also do different, you can do curl formers or certain types of rods as well that'll work, but I like bantu knots because it really does give that same exact shape as the wanded look does. So I just used a little bit of Garnier Fructis Flat Iron Spray, brushing that through. And then I'm going to take a small section. What I'm using now is I'm using a Remington Curlwand. This is their smallest one. I just got this at Target for like 29 bucks or so. And this one actually works really, really well. I have some professional ones that don't work as well as this. So it does come with heat protected gloves. And for me, those make it a little bit harder to use. So I just use my hands and I just make sure I'm extra careful. So with your left hand, you want to hold the wand in your left hand, standing on the right side, and I'm holding the hair in my right hand. And I'm going to put the top of the hair closer to the root, closer to the web, as close to the top of the curl wand as possible. This is because this hair is 22 inches long and you want to be able to get the entire piece of hair on the wand. If it was shorter, you can probably start a little further down. So I'm going to put it up there and try to get it on tightly. And wrap the hair, wrap, 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 wrap. Once you've gotten it all the way on, that's when I start to slide it down a little bit while it's on the curl wand, so that you get it closer to the end, because that's where you get the really tight curls when you do it closer to the end. So typically I like to leave it on the wand for about 30 seconds or until I can feel it being really hot through the hair. And typically I'm just going to do a little quick test by touching it. If it feels too hot, I know it's about done. And when you're ready to release it, I never unravel it. All I do is slide the curl wand off from the bottom and hold the springy curl that it made in my hand, and then drop. So when you see, you can kind of see right here, I want to go, how tight it curled it. And I'm going to go through and do that all over, so I'll show you a few more times how to do it. So once again, we're going to take it in our right hand, take the curl wand to our left hand, take the top, put it as close to the top as possible, and wrap. And hold it there for about 30 seconds. Or until you can feel it being really hot. Slide it out, hold it, and release. And I finished curling it, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of oil sheen. I'm using the Twee oil sheen from Carol's daughter. Sometimes you can put like a little bit of coconut oil in your hands or oil in your hands to kind of pull through it to make it bigger, or not. Sometimes you can do it dry if you want a more frizzy, fluffier look. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of this on because it's really light. At that point, the next thing I'm going to do is go through and pull each of the curls. Pull it all the way to the tip and release. And what this is doing is it's causing the wanded curls to expand without messing it up, so it gives it a more fluffy look. You can kind of take your hands and rub down the hair. So it's getting fluffier as we go along. I do this to each and every curl. So you can already see how this side started to become a little bigger than this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat this on this side and I'll be right back. So I finished picking through her hair, or pulling through her hair, to get it to be a little bigger, and as you can see, it's finally expanded and it's right where we want it. Some people I know are going to ask, like, how long does this last? Like I said, this isn't fresh, newly done. It took about an hour plus to actually go through, blow dry the hair, Curlwand the whole entire head. But my hair kind of looks like what it will look like after about 3 to 4 days. So this is about 3 to 4 days of the Curlwand look, and I like it as it gets messier and bigger. So that's the difference. So. Just to recap, I used heat-free hairs for Coils collection in lengths 22, about 1.5 bundles, and I used our for Curls collection in lengths 22 as well, towards the front for a kinkier texture to match her hair texture better. I used Hicks edge control on her edges, and yeah, that's it.